Imagine this, one man had everything: wealth, land, animals, a big family, respect in society. People looked at him and said, "This man is truly blessed by Allah." But suddenly, everything started disappearing. His wealth was gone, his children were gone, his health was gone. And then came the worst test. His body became so sick that people could not even stand near him. Friends left him, society abandoned him. For years, he lived in pain. Yet, during all those years, he never once complained about Allah. He never said, "Why me?" Instead, he kept saying something that shocked the angels. And because of that patience, Allah rewarded him with a miracle, not just health, but a rain of gold from the sky. This is the incredible story of Prophet Ayyub Alaihi Salaam, the man whose patience became an example for all believers until the day of judgment. Who was Prophet Ayyub Alaihi Salaam? Before the sickness, Ayyub Alaihi Salaam was known as one of the most blessed men of his time. He was a prophet of Allah. Allah had given him huge wealth, large farms and livestock, many children, a loving family, respect among people. But the most important thing was not his wealth. It was his obedience to Allah. Ayyub Alaihi Salaam was known for helping the poor, feeding the needy, taking care of travelers, always remembering Allah. He used his wealth in the path of Allah, day and night. He remained grateful. And that is why Allah mentioned him in the Qur'an as an example of patience. Now here comes the beginning of the test. Allah sometimes tests the people He loves the most, and the test of Ayyub Alaihi Salaam was one of the hardest in human history. Slowly, one by one, his blessings started disappearing. First, his wealth was destroyed. His animals died. His farms were gone. The man who once had everything suddenly had nothing, but Ayyub Alaihi Salaam remained calm. He said nothing except gratitude to Allah. Then came the second test. His children died. Imagine the pain of losing one child. Ayyub Alaihi Salaam lost them all. Yet even then, he did not complain. He knew something important. Everything we have belongs to Allah, and Allah can take it back whenever He wants. Now the long illness comes. Then came the final and most painful test. A severe disease struck Ayyub Alaihi Salaam. His body became extremely weak. Scholars mention he remained ill for many years. Some say 18, some say 20 years, but Allahu A'lam. His illness became so severe that people in the town became afraid. One by one, people stopped visiting him. Friends disappeared. Neighbors avoided him. Finally, he was forced to live outside the town. Only one person remained with him. His loyal wife. She took care of him. She worked for food, and she served her husband with patience. Even in this condition, Ayyub Alaihi Salaam never complained to Allah. He never said, "Why are you doing this to me?" Instead, he remained patient, year after year. What was his beautiful dua that he made? After many years of suffering, Ayyub Alaihi Salaam finally made a dua. But listen carefully. Even in his prayer, he did not complain. He did not accuse. He simply said words filled with humility. Allah tells us this in the Qur'an. Surah Al-Anbiya 21. Ayyub Alaihi Salaam called upon his Lord and said, "Indeed, harm has touched me, and you are the most merciful of those who show mercy." Look at the beauty of this dua. He did not say, "Remove my illness now." He only described his condition and praised Allah. That is the etiquette of a believer. Allah immediately responded to his prayer. In Surah Sa'ad 38:42, Allah said, "Strike the ground with your foot. This is a cool bath and drink." Ayyub Alaihi Salaam struck the ground, and suddenly water came out of the earth, a miraculous spring. Allah told him to drink from it and wash with it. The moment he did that, his illness disappeared. His body became strong again. His skin became healthy again. His strength returned. After years of suffering, Ayyub Alaihi Salaam was completely cured, but Allah did not stop there. Allah restored his blessings. The Quran says Allah returned his family to him and multiplied them. His life was rebuilt again. But something even more amazing was about to happen. This part comes from a famous hadith. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us the story. It is recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "One day Ayyub Alaihi Salaam was bathing. Suddenly something incredible happened. From the sky, golden locusts began falling. Locusts made of gold. They started landing everywhere around him. Ayyub Alaihi Salaam started collecting them in his garment. Then Allah asked him, 'O Ayyub, Have I not made you rich so you do not need this? And Ayyub Alaihi Salaam replied with a beautiful answer. He said, Yes, my Lord, but I cannot do without your blessings. Subhanallah, even after everything he had gone through, he still loved the blessings of Allah. Why this story is so powerful. The story of Ayyub Alaihi Salaam teaches something very important. Life will test every human being, sometimes with illness, sometimes with financial loss, sometimes with family problems, sometimes with sadness and hardship. But the question is not, why is this happening? The real question is, how will we react? Ayyub Alaihi Salaam lost everything, yet he never cursed Allah. He never said bad words. He never lost faith. Instead, he remained patient, and because of that patience, Allah replaced his hardship with blessings. What do we learn from this? Many people today lose patience very quickly. If a small problem happens, they complain, they become angry. Sometimes they even question Allah. But the story of Ayyub Alaihi Salaam reminds us of something powerful. Hardship is not punishment. Sometimes hardship is a test. And sometimes hardship is a way for Allah to raise your status. If Ayyub Alaihi Salaam could remain patient after losing his wealth, children and health, then we too can remain patient during our difficulties. Remember this rule. Patience during hardship always leads to reward. Maybe in this life, or maybe in the next. But Allah never wastes the patience of His servants. So the next time life becomes difficult, remember the man who lost everything, yet never lost faith. Remember the prophet who stayed patient for years. Remember the moment when Allah sent gold from the sky. That is the reward of patience. May Allah give us hearts that stay patient during hardship. And may He make us among those who trust Him in every situation. Ameen.